Hi guys, I was here really late yesterday trying to get, you know, the one runner a day kind of thing done, and I got it done, but I wasn't out of here till almost midnight. Today it's a pretty quiet day. I get a lot more done on the weekends because I don't have a lot of other distractions going on with what's going on in the shop on a daily basis, and so hopefully I get more than one runner done today. Maybe the weekend counts as something different. Maybe the one runner a day is strictly just the weekdays. But it's really quiet in here. You can hear there's no regular banging, loud music in the background, drilling, chatting. There's no CNC's not going off, plasma table's not making noise. So it's actually very peaceful, very calm. It's you can just only hear the roof making little creaking sounds from the heat from the sun's just rising. And I think Tommy's gonna come in today, so I'm not gonna be here all alone. It does get kind of really lonely, and I'll just jam some music on and see how far I actually get. It is, what time is it? Oh man. Alright, so I've been here for a little bit already and haven't got anything done, but it's coming up to 11. It's 10:45, and let's see how much we got done. I can show you the runner I got done last night. So I showed you guys the first two, which is cylinder 1 and 3. I got cylinder 5 done last night, and it's I won't say it's done because they're not fully welded. You can see they're just tack welded. Came out pretty decent. We got the clearance I wanted for here. My concern right here is this is that still running that high density foam mock block in here, so you can't mount all the stuff. It's really for just external provisions and stuff like that. So it doesn't have provisions to mount the rocker arms in there. So I've got a little bit of a gap here that I've left to make sure I can get the valve cover off, but it easily slides off now. I just undo these, and I left room to put a wrench in here. I actually taped a socket or a wrench on there, so I had to make sure I actually took it, unbolted it, left it here, made sure I can get a little socket in there, and that's why I built this runner up here. So I had to dive this runner down close because I can't go too far across, because I have spark plug wires down there that are remote mounting my coils in the corner over here, and we'll get to that, but I needed to make sure there was enough room for the wires there. I was trying to make access to one of these bolts from the top. See, I can't get to the yeah, I can get to this one. I can get to these ones, and I was trying to make sure that I can get to the ones down in here, but in order for me to do that, this runner would have been like all the way up here, and if this runner's up here and diving across, then that means this runner has to be even higher, and I'm not trying to have these manifolds come sticking out of the hood and melting everything. So I make sure that I can get these studs, or their bolts in these, out, but then this amount of room here, it's only a fingertip, and without the rocker arms in there, I'm not gonna know if the valve cover is going to be able to pivot over them. I'm pretty sure I can seesaw it up, but I can't go any more over. I can't go any more across. I can only raise it more. You know, I can bring this runner up here. I can bring this runner up and come across to give me more room. But doing that means that this one's not going to be able to dive until all the way over here. I'm not going to have this crazy looping runner that's just going to, I mean, this is the, look at the level we're at in the first place, but I'm not gonna have this runner come up from here and go all the way up over the other one and come down. It's just, you can't work on anything without burning your forearms. I'll just have burnt forearms everywhere when I'm trying to like work on the injectors or anything. I have to keep this all in mind when doing this, and it's very tight, so you have to make some sacrifices. I was saying I had to sacrifice some of the ability to get in here. However, I did make sure that this collector leaves enough room here that you can fit your hand in and actually get to practically everything on the first two cylinders, well, cylinder 1 and 3, and then I'm making sure that you can get 5 and 7 from back at this end. So it's gonna be hard for me to get this. I actually have Eric and Green, who are gonna be, you know, traveling with this car. I made sure that their forearm can at least get in there. And so, I mean, if it was only me working on this car, I would have had to do something drastically different, because my arm doesn't fit in there because I have a big fat arm. But they were able to do it. So let me continue working on this. I'll keep jamming out on this side. Hopefully I get this side done, and then I have to try to mimic this flange load casing over here, so, you know, it looks aesthetically pleasing and it's not just completely randomly different angle, different height. So I'm gonna probably build something to stick it right here. Probably go off of locations on the cylinder head bolt right here that gives me that dimension or position. Bring it over here. It's not going to be exactly the same runners. Obviously, it's a V8, so you've got one head further forward than this head. But I'm going to put the flanges in line with each other, so all these runners are going to be different lengths because the head's further back. So that changes everything. You can change one little piece off here by a 16th, and it will throw a whole runner off. So it's not like these things can have these big old gaps in them, because when you weld them, they'll pull and move, and I mean, I'm working with such tight tolerances here. I need them to be absolutely perfect. Like sometimes you can get away with, depending if you got a lot of room, on just getting them slightly close, and you just do a couple little grinds here and there. I made sure that I didn't do any grinding. All of this is all straight cut, and then measurements with the angles and angle cut to be absolutely perfect, so that there's the minimal amount of pulling and when welding. I mean, still gonna do it, but this way there's not trying to pull in massive gaps and completely throwing everything off. But you know what, probably still happen, probably still crashing everywhere, but hopefully it doesn't. Get this side, work on this runners, just see how far this weekend takes me. I mean, it's taken me 10 minutes just talking about it. I mean, imagine my brain going on and on and on, and every little move I make with this thing makes it pretty intense. But as I was mentioning, it's quiet in here today. There isn't a lot of distractions. There isn't a ton of people asking me questions and phone calls, which, you know, I don't want anybody to think that I'm bothered by my job. Like, you know, I'm here to help everybody. I'm here to answer all the questions, to make sure everybody's getting the right parts, make sure everybody is understanding what they're getting. Especially anybody who's ever called me to ask about car parts, I'm here to help you. I'm here to make sure you're getting what you need and my advice, and that's what I do during the day, and that's my main job. Making sure that I do that during the day is my priority. So I'm helping out, really. I mean, I do manage a lot of this program. I mean, when it comes down to sponsors, when it comes down to our marketing, when it comes down to the driver and everybody is part of it, when it comes down to what engine we're running, I'm a real big part of that. But main fabrication has always been done by either Bub or Tommy. You know, we don't have Bub anymore, and so it's just Tommy, and I'm just trying to help out as much as I can. I am capable, just I don't do it every day. It's not my main job, but I am capable. It's just rusty on the little things here and there. It takes me a little bit longer. Once you get the process that you're always doing the same thing over and over again, you get a lot faster at it. I'm not so fast at it. That's why I prefer to have Eric or Tommy weld this more than me, because they do it every day, and their welds are going to be a lot nicer. It'll come out faster. It'll be things that I'll skip and I'll miss here and there. And if it's something as important like this, it's a pro car, I'm not that comfortable doing it. I mean, if it came down to it, I will do it. Like, I'm confident that it's not gonna break, and I'll be able to get it done. It won't be the prettiest. It won't be as fast, but if I'm the only one that's able to do it at the time, then that's faster than not getting done at all. But if I have the option, Tommy and Eric, to weld it for sure. Those dudes they're pretty beasts, and they make really, really nice welds. And I mean, and if they're willing to do it, yeah, that's awesome. So let's see how far I get done today. Wish me luck. So I was mentioning, I got quite a few pieces like taped in here. I found my angle that I need here, but it's got to sit flush, and then I've got some little cardboard spaces here so that I can make sure that there's enough room between the runners so that I can go ahead and put heat wrap on these. Otherwise you'll have a tough time getting in between the runners. So I kind of shim or space out all the pieces needed, making sure that you have enough room for those runners, or keeping the gap in between them for the heat sleeve isn't the 100% do or die. Like, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I'm pretty sure there's like a little spot here and there where I have to run it tight to get the valve cover clearance, that I maybe only get one little piece of heat sleeve in. I may have to skip a tiny little section of one of the runners, which is it's not a big deal. Some people like to put ceramic coating on these. I don't think we're gonna have the time to do that. Those processes normally take a little bit, and we're not gonna. I think by the time we get this done, it's too risky to go ahead and send it out. But during downtime, maybe we'll go ahead and do that. But so can't do this really holding camera. So essentially what I was mentioning, I need that 50-degree cut. I've kind of had this, and when I have this rested up here, it's gonna give me, this isn't the exact length that I need, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to cut that back, and then this is that 50-degree piece that I'm gonna place on here. Once I line those pieces of the runner up, once that sits back where it's supposed to go, pretty sure it's going to be pretty close, and then I can start trimming this piece back to where I want the distance between here and here to be, to make it so it's not just, you know, sticking way up past the next runner. And it probably follow that same profile as the runner right next to it, come down, give me all the clearance I need. This will line back up to where it needs to go. Should give me plenty of room for my plug wires, which I've kind of like mockingly put here. I've got one, but I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 coming up through here. And steering column should be able to get the bolts in and out from here. Oops. Well, essentially they're just kind of resting in there, but so that might be a little tight for that bolt there. I mean, nah, we got plenty of room. It's right here. Got that one's easy access. That one's still gonna be easy access. So I think we're looking pretty here. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because it seems simple, but you've got a little bit I can rotate here, got a little bit I got to chop down here, a little bit I got to add, get the actual length of this piece here, and make sure that that actually sitting flush into the flange. And that's when all that stuff takes a long time. Gonna go ahead and do that. Once I get it where I think I want, I'm gonna start marking them, and then I'll take it over to the table and finish it, make sure that I have all my clearances and tack it all together, and then hopefully that'll be this side done, and then off to mimic the other side. So time is, what is that? I don't even know how to read time. 7:30-ish. And I got here at 10:30 in the morning, or 11 a.m. like I showed you guys. And all I did is one runner. That's it, just this one. So I'm still on my one runner a day schedule. I was hoping to get more progress, but that's apparently just the limit. You do one runner a day. So I got 4 runners done in 4 days. I got 4 more to go. Hopefully this isn't true. And because I got this first one done in like an hour, and I was like, just wasn't happy with it. It was too high, and it had a weird angle through here, and it was just kind of Bobo, and I didn't like it, so I did it again, and then I did it again, and I'm happy with this one. But as I'm saying, it took the whole day, so nothing else accomplished. But hopefully, now that I know every way that it wants to run and the way I want it, it's not going to be too difficult to mimic it on this side, and it doesn't take me a day per each runner. Like maybe I can get a runner and a half done, you know, that would be nice. Just anything but one a day. I feel so unaccomplished, but I'm happy with it. Still gotta weld them up, but I'm not gonna keep boring you guys with this. I'm saying, you know, you're gonna see this for 4 more days of watching me cut little pieces and put it together. Now I'll pick up the camera and we'll check out what else everybody else is doing every once in a while I take a break from, you know, ripping out my hair. But yeah, so the next 4 days, this is what I'm gonna be doing, and then I can get onto the downpipe and Y pipe. Had some company come in a little bit later. What's up, guys? Tommy came in around 2, 1, noon? Yeah. Yeah. He came in when he was damn well ready. And actually, let's go check out what he's been doing all day. What have you been doing today?
Making this thing lighter.
Seems pretty light for a factory Z. Oh yeah, that's why. You said you weighed it, how much it came out, right?
17 pounds of steel out of it, yeah. That's not including wiper motor and trim and brackets, black sliders, latch.
You got more to take out of it, or?
No, that's it. That's all I'm taking out. We're still going to use the lift struts and the hinges on it, so I left some structure for all that stuff.
Okay. And then it's just going to be that, what Luke was talking about the other day, or was yesterday, about the Lexan going in there.
Yep, Luke's been trimming out the Lexan to fit it, and he's still going to drill all the holes, and we'll riv nut it, screw it in. I'm going to fill the antenna hole here. This tiny little circle.
Okay, that's good. It's going to look ugly on there being maroon. Oh, I guess it's going to go in here, and then they're going to put the radiators on in there. I showed you guys the radiator, and then ducting is going to go. It's going to have an opening cut out of the Lexan, and that'll be the next task. Luke, when are you going to do that?
What? The window?
Yeah.
If he's going to be here for a while, I'll do it tonight, otherwise tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm beat. I don't want to start another runner, because then I won't sleep.
Yeah, so.
Like, I did not sleep. I got 4:30 in the morning.
Look what happened.
Thinking about where the runner's gonna go, and it didn't even work. And if I start, like, something's accomplished here. It's done. I know I have to do the next side, but I have to think about it. There's no degrees going on in my brain right now. So, does that ever happen to you guys? Where you start a project, you didn't finish it, and so it just bothers you the whole night?
That happens. But you got this, man.
What about a song? Like a Weezer song or something?
I usually sleep with a notepad by my bed, so.
For thoughts?
Yeah, you just get them out of your head. And
Does your notepad, like, or your notebook, have a title to it?
nope. It's just notes.
I got one.
Pretty much just so I can go back and like go over it the next day. For some reason, I think a lot when I lay down in the pitch black silence.
So a diary?
No, it's not a diary.
It's a book of thoughts, man.
Yeah.
Don't find Jesus.
Thinking about my car, where I'm gonna plumb like catch can and shit like that. So
So does it got like little illustrations?
no.
Oh.
Either just putting down like where I want to route it or what parts I need to buy for it, fittings, line, you know, all that stuff. So.
Yeah, speaking of fittings and lines, I got a giant box that came in yesterday, full of lines, fittings,
Fuel and oil and everything else.
a bunch of stuff, hose. Wow. boxo fittings, exhaust tubing. All that has to fit in there.
Run away.
No, don't run away. What you thinking, Abuelo?
Yeah, just checking out your artwork, man. It's pretty good.
The wings?
Yeah.
Or the manifold?
Both. That thing is gigantic. It's probably gonna rip.
Oh, horsepower guesses. Go ahead, let's see.
1,111.
1111?
Yeah.
Alright. Luke?
How much boost? We're talking like 5 pounds, 3 pounds, 10 pounds.
Hey, man.
All right, full capacity?
No, I'm gonna say we're gonna be around 10 pounds.
I would say probably just a tick over 1,000.
On 10 pounds?
What did Nate's make on less than that?
He made
9 or something, right?
Yeah, 880 wheel on 5 pounds.
So yeah, double that.
Well, it's just, this isn't
I mean, it's a little bit different engine setup.
yeah, it's less cubes by quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
It's almost 10% smaller. Should we take it right out? I say he's gonna make 800, 850
On
10 pounds. It's a small turbo too, actually.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? 10 pounds. That's gonna be what it's gonna be. Just I guess you stick it in the comments. Do a 5 pound and a 10 pound. I think that's how we're gonna tune it. It's a 408. It's got heads. It's got the stock LS3 intake. No, it's a 4-inch stroke, so it's a stroker. Yeah, and it's a GT45 turbo, 10 pounds and 5 pounds. Got our guesses. Tommy, you got a guess? 10 pounds of boost. How much horsepower?
10 pounds of boost?
Yeah.
925.
Tommy says 925. It's not bad. And all on the 255 tire. Yeah.
How much will the 255 hold? About 500?
Yeah, all right. So we'll just run 1.5 pounds of boost and we should be fine. But we just want to build it so it's there, you know? So we don't have to do it again when, you know, Brandon wins Pro 2.
Exactly.
Probably people laughing, he's not going to win Pro 2. Kevin did it. I mean, by the looks of it, looks like he's going to be driving the Skyline, but, Pow! We'll get to that later. Just kidding. Eric, we live in Florida. What's going on here, man?
You know, just trying to pressure wash dirty engines.
That's a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
You just happen to have this in your closet?
Yeah, just for rainy days.
We'll go check on that, see what Eric's doing. I guess he likes to be well prepared for this. Doesn't like to get too messy. I guess this is what it takes to pressure wash.
Huh?
I guess this is what it takes to pressure wash.
I mean, it's better than getting filthy.
I mean, is it filthy because how dirty your engine was, or?
Yeah.
So what's the goal? Just clean
Clean it
today?
up. So I can see any leaks later on. Hopefully not.
You look hilarious, man.
It kind of works.
No, it really does. You can get into all those tight cracks and spaces and without getting. I mean, you didn't do too good on the shoes.
I mean, these are beads.
No, okay. No socks.
No socks.
All right, smart. So this is Eric's K. Eric's cool. It's a K plus a T. All right, I'll let you be.
All right.
Did you purple power this, babe?
Not yet.
Oh.
Just most of the grease.
Some sample green.
Sample green. Bleach.
So this is Ramon's FX16 shell that he got here just to do his mock-up manifold because he has FX16. And we have one of Hamilton's old side skirts here. from his S13, and it fits pretty darn well. It's kind of crazy. It's a little off there, but silly things we like to throw on. I don't think this R32 front bumper fits pretty well, but it could. It doesn't have a side on it here. It's a Kevin Long Beach mishap right there. And what he's gonna do is I think once he's done with his manifold, it's just going in the trash. I think he's taken everything he needed from it. It's become a jump pile. But it's actually a good idea to have his engine bay on the side here, like building his manifold so his other car's not down. Picked this car up pretty cheap, I think, just to do that. Speaking of manifolds, I already told you guys, I'm not going to bore you again, but that's what I'm still working on. So, yay. Get to it. Just want to give a quick update. I have positioned the other collector. Got some measuring devices. Giant ruler, essentially. And it's not 100% perfect, but it's darn well close. I ended up going from the turbo flange instead. It was centered before, so going from the turbo flange, just ran another piece up, welded it to this side on a flange, then kind of just mirrored it off the other side of it, so I centered it to this piece, just took it off that end, moved it to this end, put an angle finder on it when it was on this end, duplicated the angle on this end, came up, squared across the top to the highest point, which would be the peak of that collector, which matches the peak of that collector, and then raised it up with a little standoff support stand there. And this should get me close enough. And as I'm saying, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sure, you happy with it?
Good enough.
Visually, it looks terrible in the shop, but it actually is pretty darn close. The gap between the last collector piece and the strut tower is very similar to the same gap I have on this side. I can work with that. Now, I'm trying to keep myself happy with making sure I can make the runners look the same at the same angle, even though there's some of the heads in a different position. That's gonna be a fun one. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. Hopefully it's still a runner a day, so I'll be done in 4 days. And we crashed. Tommy moved. So let's go see what he's doing. You look comfortable, Tommy?
Oh yeah, just contorting myself.
Tommy used to be part of the circus, actually.
Right.
I know you're busy, but what you got? What you got going on?
I'm just planning body mounts, bash bars, bumper mounts, hatch latches, headlight mounts.
So essentially, to finish off all the fabrication in the rear,
right,
you gotta have everything pretty much mounted so you don't run into some unexpected surprises.
Well, I mean, I've just got, I've got the fuel cell mounted, I've got the radiator mounted, I've got the winners in, just trying to finish off the back end to be done with it.
So you got the bumper, tail lights, fender,
the overs fitted, tail lights in,
some Clecos over here, holding them in. And this is pretty much what we're gonna be running. It's kind of a stock rear bumper, stock hatch, and some rear overs, which may, as we talked about earlier, was look kind of ridiculous with a 255.
Yeah, but
for later,
it's what we can use. Yeah, it's the only thing they allow you to use.
Whew. Spacers, maybe.
We'll see.
So yeah, Tommy's doing one side.
Spacers make it look nice, but they affect your lateral instant centers too, so it's not always...
Your lateral what, man?
Lateral instant centers, man. That's geometry.
What that is.
Yeah.
It's geometry.
Geometry.
I can't give geometry lessons. I'm no teacher.
You mean they gonna make car go fast? You can't mess with car going fast.
It messes with side grip,
Yeah.
so that's where you need it.
We'll get into that another day.
I'm trying to learn it myself. I can't explain it to you.
Yeah, we can read it in the book, but lateral instant centers. We'll get back to it. LICs. LICs, man. And that happens actually everywhere. All this is math, essentially. All this is geometry and shapes and numbers and triangles and circles, and essentially that's how I came up with a lot of this stuff. It's all by measuring, finding angles. You know, luckily I can do like some 2D software drawing, and it helps us plot. And we haven't got to the level yet where we can 3D scan everything and then just work off it that way. And actually sometimes that does take even longer than, you know, in your mind you're not producing anything when you're doing something like that. So there's a lot to it. As I was mentioning, we don't 3D scan and get stuff done here. Actually, I was even waiting on, we have a 3D printer and we 3D print, and I was waiting for David to make me some of these pieces. If you saw those ice engine work pieces that we have, those Legos we use, and I was gonna have David 3D print me some, and just the amount of time that it was gonna take him to do it, and the weekend coming up, I thought he's not gonna be here on the weekend, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make them, just chop up metal. We have spare Weldels, and we got enough to make more than just these 2 manifolds, so if I messed up any of them, it would have been faster. And essentially I've got this one whole side done before he even has the pieces ready for me to make them. It's not his fault, you know, he's just trying to help out, but in my mind I was going to be able to get this done. And when you 3D scan and you draw, you spend a lot of time on the computer, and mentally, even though you're probably making more progress because you're going to get the stuff done a lot faster, it's all plotted and you just got to go out there and chop it and make it, you don't physically see it getting done. You don't get that runner a day. So I prefer to do it this way, you know, just basic math, cutting out, not drawing it in 2D, and just using the schematics off of that to cut out the little pieces to put it a little piece helps me with the progress. And maybe one day I will be able to do all this by scanning it in and do 3D and come out and do the changes to it, you know, just one shot instead of cutting and fixing and moving and cutting and fixing and moving. But we'll get there one day, just not today. Done with your pressure washing? Mm-hmm. What you on to now? Welding a manifold? Eric! Over there's a manifold. Eric, why don't you want to weld the manifold for me?
I will.
Now.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you. I'll just start on the other side. All by myself. Plus Tommy. All by myself. Plus Tommy.